Bonnie had asked me one day, and Jimmy, to do a eulogy for him at his passing. They've also asked Mr. D. Santangelo, did a wonderful job. Ronnie Santangelo. Well, they thought that Ronnie would be better inside the church, and me probably better outside.
It was an easy decision.
Particularly for the undertaker.
So anyway, I did put a few thoughts together. It's not too long. I tried to keep it brief. But I wanted to give a little flavor of Jimmy Morrison, too. Jim Morrison was the only used car salesman I ever trusted. And I mean that sincerely. We have all lost a man who was dear to us. A husband, a father, a brother, an uncle, a grandfather, a veteran, a friend, and our bookie. Jim Morrison that I knew lived a life based upon the virtues of the Clada: loyalty, love, and friendship. Jim loved his God, his family, and his country. He also lived his democratic politics, but I loved him nonetheless. When I think of Jim, I'm reminded of Oscar Wilde's infamous quote, "Life is way too important to be taken seriously." I expect I'll chuckle at that thought in the future when thinking of him. Jim lived life to its fullest, and I often paid the price for sharing his company. I enjoyed some of my last visits with Jim, where we reminisced about all the beautiful and laughable memories he created with his bride Bonnie, most notably as they toured across the country over the past 18 years. Jim always joked that he was married 56 years ago on Independence Day and had not enjoyed his independence ever since. There is a bit of truth to that, and over the years I've witnessed the love and loyalty Jim and Bonnie shared. Jim considered himself blessed with Bonnie to depend on. Jim's family was his biggest brag. He so enjoyed sharing the achievements and adventures of his son Jimmy and daughter Christy with his friends. I think one of the happiest events of Jim's life was when himself and Bonnie spent 5 or 6 weeks in Ireland visiting with his son Jim and the grandkids. Even Christy and her family joined them for a few days. As I told young Jim the other day, I'm convinced that his arrival to join Christy and Bonnie at the hospital was the reason Jim held on for so long. He had his family around him. He was at peace. He knew all would be okay. Jim's love and loyalty did not stop with his immediate family. He spread it around to nieces, nephews, friends, and neighbors. He was especially grateful and faithful to Kevin Moore and his family. Kevin, his wife Karen, and their children have been there to help Jim and Bonnie numerous times over the year. He asked me to remember them. Whether it was 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, Kevin, his wife, children were there to help. For all the Moore family's love and generosity, on behalf of Jim, I extend a sincere thank you from Jim and his family. Jim was loyal to his faith, family, and community. I recall Jim telling me how he became a nanny for his grandson when he first retired. As part of his daily routine, he'd walk his grandson to the church so they could sit quietly and pray to God. I told him it was his way of getting some peace and quiet and a chance to rest. Having worked for years with Jim in the Ancient Order of Hibernians, I came to appreciate Jim's love for Clinton and its people. My fellow AOH members, Jack Carr, Barry Platt, Kevin Moore, Jake Gavin, Kevin O'Loughlin, and others, will attest to Jim's passion and hard work to help those in need. As a result, there are many families in this community who have been quietly and genuinely assisted because of Jim's commitment. Scholarships have been awarded and children have been taken care of. That's what Jim Morrison was all about. Excuse me. Jim expressed to me that one of his great blessings in this life is the bond he shared with his AOH brothers, the laughs, the camaraderie, and the satisfaction of helping others was good for his soul. There are some life lessons I learned from Jim Morrison. 1, nothing good ever happens after midnight. 2, do not buy the 101st ticket in the football pool. 3, if it's Irish, it's okay. Never sell one ticket for $10 when you can get 20 for 3. Be nice to others, it doesn't cost a thing. Tullamore is healthier than orange juice. The all-night diners are still open at 2 in the morning. And as he shared with me this past week as we spoke at the hospital, what we concern ourselves with in this life is 90% nonsense. In the end, it's all about you, your family, and your God. Rest in peace, my friend. Until we meet again, may the good Lord hold you in the palm of his hand. On behalf of Jim, to all of you here, Sláinte.